Hey everyone, here's Aaron, and this week's video is gonna be a little bit different, but not different at all. Because it's just gonna be some random video that I wanted to do. But anyway, I wanted to talk about how I get ideas for what video I wanna make for each week, or what games I wanna play. Because I thought that would be interesting to go through, because I often enough find myself sitting around and wondering what I should do for next week or for today, and going onto the internet and trying to find something to help you with that is not always super helpful, because there's a lot of lists with like those kind of videos you can do, and they're not bad, not at all, but that's not helpful for me at the moment, because the lists have a wide variety of different kinds of YouTube content that you can do, and of course some of the big ones like challenges and stuff. But that then begs the question, what kind of challenge would I want to do? What should I do with that idea that I just got from that list? And where there might be a good idea, a little push to what you could do, they don't really help you with figuring out what you want to do at the moment. So I today want to just talk about how I go through, what processes I go through with figuring out what kind of video I want to do. And that for both the live action videos, like those right here, and my gaming videos, like what kind of games I want to play for a longer series, for Random Sunday, or just for a look at with like Monday Madness. So I thought kind of like a little deeper inside view of how this kind of YouTube kind of thing works is an interesting thing that might probably, potentially, possibly, I don't know, help people with figuring out what kind of content they want to do on their own channel. Let's get started. So, one main thing that I always go through is big thing for me, of course, is gaming. So let's start off with the gaming thing so that we have it out of the way, is what kind of games I want to play. And for the most part, for longer series, of course, it has to be either a game that I played myself and finished myself so that I know what I'm doing in this series, or a game that I'm just really interested in and that would be more interesting to see me go through it blind and experiencing everything for the first time. And therefore I actually have to do kind of a little research to find out what kind of game would make a good experience for the first time playing through. Like, even though it's a puzzle game, of course they make a good first time playthrough. But if it's like a longer RPG game, it would be beneficial if I know what to do, because a longer RPG can be kind of tedious if you watch someone that does not really know what they're doing. So, kind of making a little look into the game that I might want to play, and then deciding if I want to play it first for myself so that I know what I'm doing, or if I'm more interested in playing it blindly. So that's something that goes into the video games there. And for Random Sunday and Monday Madness, sometimes they just purely are something that I like from the look of it and the style. Like, a lot of games, for Random Sunday especially, just caught my eye with the thumbnail that they gave them and just the art style overall, and that's how I kind of decided, hey, I really want to play that because that looks cool. Might be still a crapshoot, but that's how they catch my interest. For Monday Madness, actually Random Sunday is kind of a test shoot for some Monday Madness series, is where I find a game that is like either extremely long or kind of unending. And I think, okay, I don't want to play it to completion because that would take forever, but I want to show this game off because I enjoy it, I love it. Like roguelike games, they wouldn't make for a great long-running series because they just will never end, but they make for a great Monday Madness series because I can play them for as long as I want to on the channel, or as long as I think, yeah, okay, that's as much of the content that I want to put out of it. So that's where those kind of games come in. But yeah, the games overall, either story-based for longer series, or just non-story based shenanigans, I want to call them right now, for just Random Sunday or Monday Madness, depending on If I like the game on random Sunday, it might come back for Monday Madness. Or even just as a normal series, depending on what kind of game it is, because that also, I think, happened. Yes, it did, with Armed with Wings. Which, for some odd reason, does really good, but whatever. But yeah, that's essentially what I go through for gaming videos. It's nothing too complex, but just enough in-depth insight in how you might want to tackle a video. Sometimes you might also view a video, a game, and think, okay, I would love to play it, but I don't know how to do it. In that situation, you might want to make a few lookups, maybe watch some other people's Let's Plays. You don't have to watch them completely, but just have a few views in there to see what other people kind of did with it, so that you can get an idea of how you could finagle your own style into this. Because some games might not immediately fit with your style, and therefore you have to kind of tweak around and find out what to do. And then looking at other people and seeing how they did it is a great help. So the next thing I want to talk about is like the live action stuff, the challenges, the weird sketches, the tests and whatnot, all the random nature that you see on Thursday and Saturday on the channel, and how I get some of the ideas for that. Well, one obvious thing is quizzes and tests are something that you should always kind of have on your radar, because they're easily made. Like, production-wise, quizzes and tests are easy. You sit down, you search out whatever quiz you feel like, and you can sit down and make the test and just have fun with that. For sketches, the whole thing, however, looks a little bit more complicated, because I get a lot of sketch ideas, but the sketch needs a little bit more refining, because I can't just say, okay, I want to make a horror sketch and then have nothing to jump into, because horror is a lot, but if you don't have some sort of idea where you want to go with it, what will you do with that? Talk with people. Like, I talk a lot with my girlfriend, me, but not specifically only about YouTube content, but just things in general, and an organic conversation can lead to some interesting ideas for content as well. But if I have an idea on how I might want to make that sketch, I write it down. And I don't just jump into that sketch immediately, because I want to make them fleshed out a little bit more. So I keep everything just written down in the hopes that I get more ideas, but I have it written on my phone, so just that I don't forget about the idea that I had. Another way on how I get ideas is just literally through brainstorming. Like, what kind of idea could I have today? What could I make? Sitting down, thinking about certain ideas that I've seen on YouTube before, certain things that I've made before, and if I have an idea on what I could do again today, like, do I want to make another sketch? Do I have an idea for a sketch that I could improve really quickly or not? Is there a test that I want to make? Do I find something? Am I in the mood for tests? Or am I just in the mood for making something completely different, random, that I haven't done before in the channel? And that's just through brainstorming, thinking about, what different contents can I make? For that, it also helps you to, if you have a channel already, that's a big but here. But yeah, if you have a channel already, looking into what you've done so far, and maybe something will spark an idea, spark an interest on what you could do. And that's really helpful, because sometimes looking through your own old work is like a little catalyst of ideas that will trigger some ideas so that you can get creative again. The lists on the internet, just typing what kind of YouTube video do I want to do, or YouTube video ideas, and you get a whole bunch of lists for YouTube content that you can do. And of course, again, as I talked at the beginning of the video, you have your typicals in there, like try not to laugh challenges, challenges in general, making like a closet tour, a lot of those kind of things that you see a lot on YouTube. And they are on this list for a reason, because those are videos that are actually really big on YouTube, that a lot of people view, so of course they would make it onto the list. So you can get inspired by them as well. Try not to laugh challenges, depending on your humor, might be extremely easy, or, as is for me, surprisingly difficult to record. I sit there for try not to laugh videos for over an hour at a time and think I don't laugh at all, so I don't know why that happens. but try not to laugh videos are surprisingly difficult for me to record. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with challenges, and you even can just look up YouTube, type in challenge, and there's so much coming up, probably a lot of try not to laugh challenges. I actually haven't tried what you see, but you just type in challenge on YouTube. You actually see a lot of different kinds of challenges, so yeah, actually a valid thing. Just type in challenge on YouTube, you might get some idea. You get some great content out of that you could make yourself. And for everyone saying that would be stealing, every content that you see on YouTube has been made before. I'm pretty sure this video that I'm doing right here has been made before by someone else, probably someone bigger as well as I am. Not everything can be new on YouTube. To be totally frank, the chance of making something new on YouTube is by now extremely slim. So there's nothing wrong with looking at other people's content ideas and getting inspired by them, making something kind of identical but still giving it your own twist. Everything that you make with your own twist, with your own personality, is still a unique video. Problem only comes if you make a carbon copy of what you find on YouTube already. When you go on YouTube and make a video, when you go on YouTube, you see a video of someone and you make the exact same things, and there we start having some sort of problem with it. But if you see someone like try not to flinch challenge and you want to make it your own, then sit down, get creative with it yourself. It may still be the same kind of challenge, but because of the person that makes it, because of your personality, the distinct difference between two people, it will be yours. It will be your own it will be your own video in this regard. Again, making something completely original on YouTube, stupidly difficult. I mean, if you have an idea that you think has never been done, type it in on YouTube. Maybe you're lucky with that. But other than that, it's extremely difficult. So there's no harm in going through YouTube videos and getting inspired by other people. Again, as long as it's not a carbon copy, there's no problem with that. And as a last thing, I think I would say just do what you love to do. Because if you sit here and think about making a YouTube channel, you already have a YouTube channel, there is some sort of idea that you probably want to put out there. And don't try to think in terms of, I'm not good enough for that idea yet, or I'm not big enough to put that out. Never think of it that way. If you have an idea, no matter how big or small of a YouTuber you are, if you truly love your idea and you want to put it out there, just make it. If you get big later on, if you get huge, ginormous, and your love video idea that you had a lot of passion for did not get as much traction, and that video idea that you really loved didn't get as much traction back then, you can pinpoint it to people and say, hey, that's something I did, that's something I love. But just shoving something to the side and saying it's not the right time, you don't have the equipment or anything, you don't need a lot to make any kind of video that you want. There isn't a lot to be done. And I know I say this with a setup already, but I mean, I'm recording also on a stupidly old laptop, so setup isn't everything. It just makes it easier, but it doesn't help you be more creative. So use your noggin, talk with people, make some brainstorming alone or with other people, get inspired by other YouTubers. Actually, watch some of those lists, let's see what's on there and get inspired by them. But don't just try to brute force these ideas on your own. Like, there's a lot of different help that you can get. And again, probably nothing we do on YouTube anymore is original, so getting inspired by other YouTubers is not bad at all. Anyway, I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk. I had sort of a red thread going through everything, I think. And if not, I'm gonna cut it that way. This was just something that I thought would be interesting for some people to know. And I don't know, maybe I will watch this video myself at one point again, just to get inspired and get ideas on what I can do on YouTube again. Because I surely struggle with that myself at times. Anyway, see ya.